After giving its Carrera lineup numerous changes last year, Porsche has updated the 911 Turbo for 2010. And to see just how far Porsche went with the 2010 911 Turbo, Inside Line sent Chief Road Test Editor Chris Walton to southern Portugal to experience Porsche's latest masterpiece.
Today we're driving the 2010 Porsche 911 Turbo, and this thing is a perfect storm in a lot of ways, and here's why. It combines lots of Porsche technology that didn't exist all together in one place before. Things like the 7-speed PDK transmission. It's a double clutch transmission that appeared last year on the Carreras, but actually has its roots that go all the way back to the 956 and 962 race cars that won Le Mans. It also has variable vane turbos that appeared on the last 911 Turbo, but it's also combined with a new intake manifold that actually cools the air before it goes in the engine. That appeared on the last GT2. And you put all that together with an all-new engine that makes 500 horsepower and over 500 pound-feet of torque, all from 3.8 liters of displacement, and this thing is a perfect storm. First thing you want to do when you get in the new 911 Turbo is find and press the Sport button. That wakes up the engine a little bit, makes the turbos a little zoomier, and it also makes the transmission behave a little more intelligently. But the other thing is, you want to turn off the ultra-firm shock absorbers unless you're on something as billiard smooth as a racetrack. And, for the first time, Porsche has included paddles on the steering wheel instead of those silly buttons. That means you put it in manual mode, and you can shift gears with a fingertip. And it really wakes the car up.
We drove the Turbo through the hills of Portugal near the Estoril circuit before heading down to the world-famous track itself.
Here we are at Circuito Estoril in Portugal. I'm going to switch on the Sport Plus mode because that's what would work on a track, so let's do that. And immediately the transmission wakes up. And here you can really feel the front end grabbing at the pavement. If it were rear drive, that might be a little hairier. Okay, we're going to test the launch control in the new 911 Turbo. Easy peasy. Unlike other cars where it's kind of an Easter egg hunt, what you do, put your foot on the brake, put it in drive, Sport Plus mode, and while your foot's on the brake, whack the throttle to the floor until it gives you the all clear right here on the steering wheel. Ready? Here we go. Off we go. 0 to 60, 3.2.
That Porsche estimated 0 to 60 time of 3.2 seconds would be faster than the Nissan GTR, Corvette ZR1, Ferrari California, and Lamborghini Murcielago. The Turbo gets all the interior updates from last year's Carrera. The bigger touchscreen electronics controls are a major improvement, and features like Bluetooth and an iPod interface are welcome additions. But the Turbo gets a few new treats of its own, like indicator lights on the steering wheel.
Okay, so what did we learn after 2 days in the perfect storm? Well, we learned it is an everyday supercar. Absolutely, you could drive this car every day. We also learned that the car's dynamics are extremely sensitive to how hard the front or the rear tires have been worked. And finally, the 2010 911 Turbo, it's everything we expected and more.